Hey, how you doing? Scott here from Scott's Bass Lessons. Hope you're well. If you haven't been to scottsbasslessons.com yet, make sure you do so straight after this lesson, because there's hours and hours and hours of free video bass lessons, and there's free backing tracks. There's a backing track library. In fact, the track that you've just heard me playing along with, you can download that from there as well, completely free. And when you subscribe, you get sent other free member goodies as well. So on with this lesson, I've been getting a lot of emails about my right hand technique, and it's about, I've got a little bit of a strange, well, it's not just me, there's a few other guys do this as well, but essentially when you're picking with your right hand, 90%, 95% of bass players use what's called rest strokes. So a rest stroke is where you play the string and the finger then rests on the string beneath it, okay? So if I was to just play 4 notes, 1, 2, see how the finger plucks this string and then rests on this string. It's called a rest stroke, which is what most people use, okay, when playing bass. So to play a major scale like this, I'm just going to show these exercises with a major scale, okay? So using rest strokes on a major scale would look like this. Okay, and again. And the main movement of the fingers comes from this knuckle here. It's, you know, it's like a little marching soldier, yeah? Now, there's also another picking style called a free stroke. Now both of these techniques, classical guitar techniques, the rest stroke and the free stroke. And the free stroke isn't, you know, really widely used yet, but there is some modern players. I know Matt Garrison, who's an absolute monster bass player, he uses free strokes a lot of the time. Gary Willis as well, another amazing player you should check out. He uses free strokes all the time, so check him out as well. And essentially, it means you're not resting on the string underneath. Your finger actually goes into midair like this. Now, if I play really slowly, it's not that my finger's going into mid-air and then just wobbling around. It actually hits my thumb. So instead of using the string as a stopping point, it uses my thumb as a stopping point. Okay, so I'm going to play a C major scale really slowly. See the fingers there? They're resting on my thumb. And it gives you a slightly different sound. It's a tighter sound, it's less bassy, which is why when I'm working with my students on their plucking hand technique, I like them to get both techniques down, really, because one, like the way I developed it and the way I didn't actually see anybody using it, I really wanted to work on my speed and playing faster and having a tighter sound. And this kind of developed over a few months. Yeah, so I'm going to play slowly so you can. So they're all resting on my thumb, and when I get speed up, yeah, they're still hitting my thumb there. I can feel them hitting my thumb, not the string below. So, and also you should note that when using this technique, whereas the rest stroke technique, the movement came like a marching soldier, almost from these knuckles, like that. With this technique, the free stroke technique, I'm actually using these joints here. Like these ones are still in play, but if you look, see that the fingers are more bent. I get a lot of emails about this. I think it's hard to see because when you're looking at the front of my hand, it just looks like my hand's bent over a little bit more. Whereas if you look at somebody that's using rest strokes, their fingers are generally very straight. And it's more like a marching soldier. So I recommend that you take a major scale and just try these different techniques out. And if you're anything like me, the free stroke might work a little bit more for faster lines. But it did take me, I would say, around 2 to 3 months to work it into my playing so I could use it naturally. With any technique changes like this, it does take a long time to work it into your playing, so you don't have to think about it so much. And for those guys that are using free strokes, I'm sure some people out there might be using free strokes exclusively. I really recommend that you look at using the rest strokes as well. I like my students to use both because they give you a different sound. With the free stroke, it's a tighter, less sort of like percussive bassy sound, whereas if you're I'm digging in, I'm wanting that, if it's not gonna, it just doesn't sound as nasty with the free stroke. You want that, you want that sort of like raspy sound, and that's where the rest stroke really comes in. And with groove lines, I really like to hear that with the rest stroke because, as well, as you play the note and it rests, your finger rests on that string beneath, there is a certain percussive quality to that as well, and that adds a little bit of grunt to the note. So get both techniques down. Hopefully you've enjoyed this lesson. If you have, I'll love you forever if you click like underneath this video. Make sure you go over to the website. There's a free backing track library. You can download them all for free, and there's other member free goodies as well. Again, it's free. Other than that, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the shed.